we've got our dimensions here. I know that my stand is going to be 12 feet across. I can adjust the width based on however much wood I want to use to make it sturdy. But I know for the lower part, I need a ridge with a 2x4 here, and then one that stacks up against it like that, so that the solar panel sits right on the 2x4, and then the 2x4 on the side keeps it from sliding off of the stand. I just measured the solar panels, and each one is 39.5 inches wide, which, if it was 36, that would be all 4 of them in a row, equal to 12 feet. But since it's 39.5, it's going to hang off the edge a little bit on the two side ones. So I need to plan accordingly for that. So with that said, I'm going to start cutting some wood. I don't want to use a perfectly good 12-foot section to stop these from sliding in, so I'm going to take an 8-foot 2x4, cut it in half, and that's going to hold, one 4-foot section is going to hold 2 solar panels. So I'm going to screw those into the bottom board so that the solar panels don't slide. That's the next step. Right now, I have the bottom board with these bottom ones holding the solar panels from sliding downhill. So this will be at the lower part, and this will be at the top part. Now, for stability purposes, this 2x4 has these 2x4 screwed in, so it's not going to bow very much. But this one here could bow. So I'm going to stand it on end and then screw it in on both sides here and on the bottom here, and that will kind of keep the frame solid. These will actually be going under the solar panel, so that's going to support it from the end here. And then once I have this running across for the legs, I got some pressure treated plywood, or not plywood, but 2x4s, and I'll just make legs out of the pressure treated wood, because those will be touching ground. Yep, that's the plan. So I'll just be taking the solar panels off and screwing it together next. I did that backwards. This one's fine because the solar panel is going to rest on top of these. But these ones here, I need the top of this flush with that board. So I got to undo these, raise this up to be flush with this on both ends. All right, let's do it. That's one down. I got one more to do. I'll just kind of replicate exactly what I got. The batteries die real quick in the cold, so I had to have it on battery bank. All right, we have 2 frames assembled, and that's the easy part because those are on relatively flat surface. The next part is to get the frames on this hill. It's hard to see because that's level, so you can see that the hill slants down. So I gotta move these, put the frame, and then figure out how to get it. I'm gonna use pressure treated plywood for the legs. And my plan is just to get some cinder blocks to hold it up and then put the pressure treated 2x4 in as the legs and screw them down where it is. But first I need to measure 30 to 45 degree with the sun so that the solar panels get the max usage. So it's getting late here. It's time check is, well, I guess it's not that late. It's only 2 o'clock. But the sun, it's getting darker, so I better hurry up. The reason the solar panels are up here is because the hill gets steeper down there and there was bushes in the way. But the ideal location is further away from under these trees, because in the summertime these are full of leaves and they block the sun on the solar panels. So Duke was just telling me that we should do it the right way and go further down the hill closer to the lake. Oh, my first aid kit. This was hanging on a tarp up there, and I guess the wind blew the tarp. But we should put the frame closer to the lake, because this is about the full water level of the lake. There's a bunch of room for a frame right here. It's not going to be easy because it's a steeper hill, but that's the right thing to do. So my next steps are to clear this shrubbery, get one frame set up here, move some solar panels onto that frame, and then get the next frame set up right above it.
Under the boughs where the shadows play, the wind hums songs at the break of day. Whispering pines, secrets untold, carrying tales only the forest holds. Moonlight spills through the velvet dark, etching patterns, leaving its mark. The roots stretch deep, the earth's gentle sigh, a lullaby sung to the open sky. Oh, whispering pines, sing me your tune, caught in the rhythm of the stars and the moon. Teach me the language of rustling leaves, stories that linger on the breath of the breeze.
We got most of it. There's a lot of prickly stickers down there, so gotta go get my leather gloves. Alright, I went up to the tool shed to find my leather gloves, and I also found a machete left by the previous owner. The blade's a bit rusty, but I'm running out of daylight, so I'm going to use it. I also moved the tripod onto the side of the hill. According to the tripod, it's level, so the steepness you see is the steepness of the hill. Two boards were just too far apart for me to grab the whole frame, so I just used a towel to wrap under the bottom board, and that gave me just enough reach that I could grab it. Got the 2 frames placed. The solar panels will sit on this lower lip and not slide down because they both have half of a 8-foot 2x4 on either side. I do like this placement a lot better because it's on the steeper part of the hill and it's away from the trees more, so it'll get more sun. But that was a lot of work. So this will be where the not new solar panels, but this will be where I move these solar panels down the hill. Before I put them in the frame, I think I want to get the legs installed first. Probably raise it about 2 feet off the ground. And then once the frames are done, I can just slide in, not slide in, but I can put in the solar panels. And I already know, because I moved it about 30 feet away, 40 feet away, I'm going to need longer wire that goes up to my power shed, because right now that's as far as I can move the solar panels on the old extension cord that I cut up for them. So I'll order a new cord and work on getting some footers in for the frame. Once the footers are in, I'll be ready to unwire these, put them back in, raised up off the ground. But that is a wrap for today. I'll take a look and do some more planning on the best way to get the footers in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to quit on you so soon. It's only a little bit after 3. It feels a lot later after all that work, but once I sat down and caught my breath, I still got about an hour and a half of daylight. So this is all pressure treated wood, and my original plan was to dig holes, put a 2x4 in the hole, and then screw it into the frame right where it's level. But that's a lot of work for one person to try to hold things level and digging holes and everything. So I know I wanted about 2 feet off the ground. Each one of these pressure treated 2x4s is 8 feet long. So if I cut it into 2 feet sections, each board should give me 2 A-frame feet. And my goal, or plan right now, is to cut these down into 2 feet sections, put one screw up at the top where it can pivot, and then put some little screws in the legs with some baling wire that I can adjust how far in and out the legs go to raise it up and down to level it. And the hill's pretty steep, so I might have to actually cut a couple legs down, or maybe cut some 45-degree angles in to make a point so that the leg digs into the ground. But I'm going to start with just 4 basic A-frames, go test it out, and then I'll know whether I need to cut one of the legs that's higher up on the hill, or if I can just angle it in the right way to get it to work. So I'm not going to cut all 8 at once, because I want to make sure my idea works on the first frame, and if it does, I'll come back and cut the other 2. So here we go. I'm excited to use these. These are lock wire pliers. You put your wire in here and you crimp it tight, and then you just pull on this middle piece here and it spins the wire and locks it. These are called lock wire pliers, and I used to use them in the Navy all the time when you're lock wiring hydraulic valves for like the periscope or any sort of maintenance. You lock wire these, you hang your danger tag so that people know not to touch that valve while you're doing maintenance. And then when you're done with maintenance, you get your officer to sign off that the maintenance is done, all the valves are in the right place. Then you can go and cut your lock wire. So I'm going to be using that over here. So you take your wire and you wrap it around. Take your pliers. Crimp it down. Lock it. And then you pull. Oh no, I'm too strong. I pulled too hard, but it did a good job on this one. I just got to redo that. Start over. As you can tell, it's been a while since I've used these. Ta-da! And just like that, see how it twists it nice and neat? That's not going to come off the screw. And then this one here is just adjustable. I just turn it around the screw. Or actually this one here. If I need to lengthen it, I just undo it, put it back around. But this keeps the wire from getting lost. So, gonna do the same thing on this other seesaw. First try on that one. If you ever find yourself using lock wire pliers, keep in mind that actual lock wire is a little more forgiving than this galvanized steel wire. Don't cross the wires when you clamp down, because that's what I did on the first one, and it clamped down so tight that it broke the wire. So getting better at this. Next off, we're going to take it, these two legs, because I don't want to cut up a whole bunch of expensive pressure treated ply 2x4 if I don't need it. But I'm going to take two legs down here and put them on the back half of that first board and see how they work. All right, here goes our initial test. I got my seesaw legs, Navy joke, my sea legs. Gonna go test them out. It's a little wobbly back and forth. I think to fix that, I'll just tie a rope on either side and put some drawstrings on it, kind of like you do with a camping tent. That'll keep it from going back and forth. Feels pretty sturdy this way because I put the legs like this. but I like it enough. I'm gonna go cut some more legs, seesaws. And just like that, we've got all the rest of the legs built out. You see there's 6 of them here. They'll have the guide wire on there to tighten them down. So it's starting to get dark again. I know I said that last time. So we're gonna go down there, put on the 2 front ones of the first frame that I already put on the back ones. See how that works, and then probably work on the other 4. I found out the hard way. 2 feet are stable enough with downward pressure on the front. But once I picked up these back legs, it got too wobbly and it shifted to the side, and then I tried to shift it the other way and it fell that way. So my thought was, maybe rather than putting these legs like this, I could put them this way to stop the back and forth. But then I'm afraid that there'd be too much downhill slope and the whole thing could just fall. So my next plan is to screw in a screw right down here and put a guide wire that comes up here somewhere, stake it into the ground so that not only does it stop it from going downhill, I'll put it at a 45-degree angle, but that should stop it from going downhill and side to side, because I'm going to put a guide wire on the other side. But I probably won't use wire. I'll probably use some fluorescent orange paracord that I have. That way you can see it. Otherwise, Duke will be chasing chipmunks around here and run right into the wire. So it's finally dark enough that I'm calling it done for the day. I'm gonna go get some lunch. But I got all the legs ready. I'll have to cut some paracord for the guide wires, find some stakes of some sort to stake into the ground, and then we'll be ready to try again at some point. I'll probably have to set up some light, because by the time I get done with work it's dark, so either come out in the morning or put up some light in the evening. But that's a wrap for today. Alright, I'm back. Been about, it wasn't last weekend, but the weekend before, I went ahead and made these frames for the solar panels with the seesaw legs to keep them stable, but I need to go take out some of these stakes here and bring them down there and put some rope to stabilize the frames from going back and forth. They're pretty good forwards and backwards, but back and forth it's just too wobbly. So the last 2 weeks I've been practicing on this trick here where I split my hammer. So I'm gonna go work on these now. got my frames for the solar panels all put up. I did that before Christmas break. And I put these guide strings on to keep it from sliding down the hill or going side to side. And we had a big windy storm move through and nothing fell over, so I feel a little better about putting the solar panels on the frame now. And I was going to wait for a cloudy day to do it so that I could, because once I unplug these I won't be charging my batteries, but we've had 3 sunny days in a row and my batteries are fully charged. So I am going to move these 6 solar panels onto the frame. I have to move them together because they're wired 2 in series. These 2, those 2, and these 2. And then in parallel, each of those 3 series are wired in parallel. So I have to think about the best way to do this. I want the wire ends pointing down that way on the top row and pointing up this way on the bottom row. So that's what I'm going to work on next. I will have to extend my wire because I don't have quite enough slack in the power cable that runs up to the shed. So I've already got these connections here, and I'm just going to get some Romex wire and kind of do what I did with this extension cord, where I have 3 wires together to make a bigger gauge wire. This is just an old extension cord that I found, and I did some Google searching to see what gauge an extension cord with all 3 wires wired together is, and it should be enough for the solar power watts. So I'm going to move these over next. Got all the solar panels on the frames. I decided to only put 2 on this one in case it falls over and goes in the water, and then put 4 on this upper one. The wires were just long enough. I had to scoot this one in from the edge in order to get that far wire and this far wire to plug into the pigtail. So now all I have to do is come up here, take these plugs and bring them down to the solar panels, but I need to add in some more wire right here. So whew. It doesn't look steep on camera, but that's kind of a steep hill, and those solar panels are heavy. But I'm going to go ahead and wire this up and give it a test. Got the Romex wire, some caps some wire cutters. Wire is only 25 feet, so I just put it in half there. It's not going to be long enough with half, so I've got to go find some more wire. Yep. Right, I finished running that first wire all the way down and then went and found some more wire to use. This was the extension cord that was going to my camper, but I replaced it with a new one, and now I'll just use this one. What I'm doing on these wires is stripping the positive, negative, and the ground and just twisting them together to make one big gauge wire. We are all wired up, and now comes the true test. We come inside the shed and see how many amps we're getting from the solar panels. .8 solar input, 54 volts, 14.8, 15 amps. So it's working. We're in business. I gotta clean up my tools and pick up my trash. But now we'll see how this wood holds up to the elements and if it can handle the weight of a bunch of snow. Hopefully it can, so, or I'll have to come off and brush it off every hour. Who knows? But that's about a wrap for the solar panel frames. They're off the ground by about 2 feet, so hopefully we don't get more snow than that. Beautiful sunny day though, New Year's Day. Got work tomorrow, but had today off, and great day to finish this project.